Hi, what's up guys, it's Evan here, and today I'll be teaching you beginners F2L. So let's hop into it. So if you guys do not know what F2L is, it's basically a method where you take, you just do the cross on a normal cube, and then you grab one of the white corner pieces and match it with one of the matching edge pieces, and then put it in to make something like that. That is what F2L is. I'm gonna show you some of the cases you can run into in F2L, and then I think I might edit some of this out and then do an example solve for you guys. So let's look at, there are many different cases with F2L. So the first case you can run into is having two matching pieces. And also, I did not address, you need to know how to solve a normal 3x3 using the beginner's method and do a cross and solve the cross, which is also the same thing. So once you have your cross solved, the next thing, you do not do the corners, by the way, if you remember the beginner's method. Do not do the corners, just do the cross. So now, you might end up with one of the cases where you have two pieces like this matched up. So you have a case like this, you want to look around at the centers and see what colors are on the top and what colors are on the side. So blue is on the top, and red is on the bottom side, and so is white sticking out. So put this next to the blue and red centers. If you guys don't know, red is opposite of orange and blue is opposite of green. And white is opposite of yellow. So, sorry, excuse me earlier. So what you do is line this top piece up, these two pieces on the top, and match it with its center. So like this is a blue top and this is its blue center. So now you can just move this right side up, move this piece over, and then move it down, and you have your first F2L pair done. So another case you can run into is having two pieces like this across from each other. So if you have a case like this, find the two centers. So like for example, this says blue and orange on it, and this orange and blue. Like for example, find the orange and blue centers, like over here. And now, what you can do is just move this piece that is opposite. This is the case I was talking about, having opposite colors. So, like, if you have one color on the side and one color on the top. So, what you can do to fix this case is move this piece up. Now you have your matched pair over here. So, you can just move that piece over and move it down. And now you have another pair done, and that is another case you can find. So the thing is now, if you have two pairs done, so let's look at another piece. So let's look at this white, green, and orange piece. So if you find one of the pairs and it's not on the top, it must be on one of these pieces. So you can just move it up, move it out of the way, and move it down. So now, if you have a case like this, if you have two pieces, like two pairs that are done or solved, you have to do it over a solved pair, but in certain circumstances, you don't actually have to do that. If you have a white piece on top, I'm going to show you this case really quick. I'm actually going to show you that case one more time with the opposite colors. So if you have I have white, green, and orange, and now orange and green. So what you can do, if you have opposite colors like this, if you have the same colors on the top, you would just move the piece down and move it over and then move it back up. I will show you that maybe later if I can. So now let's look at this case. So if you have opposite colors, like if you have the same colors and they're opposite, like green, orange, and they're not matching, what you can do is move the pieces in between the two centers it's supposed to go. Say, for example, orange and green. So I can just move this piece up, move it over, and move this piece back down. So now you have one pair to go, and now let's look at this piece. Another case you can run into is having the white piece on the top. You can also move the pieces like this if you want to move it out of the way, but look where it is. Like, if you're going to move it to this way, you want to make sure you do not move this piece as well. So if you have a case on the top, you're actually going to move that piece up, move both pieces over so you don't ruin anything, and move the pieces down. And here's the case earlier I was talking about. So if you have one or two pairs left, you want to do it over a non-solved side. But the problem is with that, you can ruin one of your pairs, but it can be pretty easy to fix. So also, another way to avoid that, if you keep getting pairs coming up to your side, like that, what you can do is find two pieces that are not solved, or one like if you have 2 left, and put that pair missing in the front. Like for example, like right here, like in one of these 2 spots. Like anyway, anytime you might run into some pair problems, but it's an easy fix like I already explained. So you're just going to do it over a solved side, even though it does. So you might run into cases, like this is the case I was talking about. You want to have like 2 or 1 piece like in the front, so it doesn't ruin your pair. But if you don't have that, that is okay. But it's an easy fix to fix your pairs. And so now let's look at this piece. So I have this case I was talking about. I have opposite colors, but the same colors are on the top. I already showed you how to fix that earlier case with the white piece on the top. Now you've moved it to its side. So if you have the same colors on the top, just move this piece down, move this piece over, and move this back up. And now you have your pair done. And now you can just slide it in. And now you have finished your F2L. So I'm going to go through this one more time once I finish solving this. So then once you have F2L done, you can literally just solve it however you want. Okay, so let's do it again. So you want to look at some other white pieces on the top, but also I did want to just, if you do not have any on the top, just move one up and just try to make sure you're not affecting the other pieces. So like, let's look at one piece. So this is kind of, I'm going to go over this again. This is kind of like the example solve I was talking about. So you can pick any corner. Like you said, you want to have your cross look something like this before you do F2L. And then let's look at a white corner piece we have. So we have white, green, and red. And then we have red, green. If you don't have a piece on the top, just move it up and just move it on the same layer. You do all this F2L stuff on the yellow side. I did not address that. So if you do have a white piece sticking up, just move that piece up, move it out of the way, and move that piece down. And now you have that first case. You either get one of the other 2 cases where you have to move it down and then just kind of match it up, just like something like that. But in my case, I can just match it up. So I have opposite colors where they're not matching. This is kind of what you want if you have the opposite colors. So line it up, make sure you have it on the correct centers. Like this is a red center, green center. That's the red and green side. This is red and green, so it's in between that area. So this is correct. So I can just move this piece up, over, down. And now you have your F2L pair done. Don't worry about this other piece. This is not correct. You will fix these in the future. So let's look at another piece. So let's look and see if we have any white pieces on the top. And we actually do not. So if you do not have any white pieces, look and see what edge pieces you have. So that do not have yellow on. So I have red and blue, orange and blue. So I'm just going to move the orange and blue. Move this orange and blue corner up, out of the way, move it out, and then I have it done. So now I have this other case from before. So where I have this, if I have this thing. So if you have something like this where the 2 pieces are swapped, that means you have the opposite colors case. So I can just move this piece down, move that piece over, and now they're opposite to each other. They have to have one on this and this, or one on this and this. So now, you want to get it in between the centers like I already explained. So now you just leave the corner to its side, and now move the piece up, move it over, up, and down. And now you have 2 of your pairs finished. So look and see what other corners we have. We have white, blue, and red, and we have red and blue here. Or we have white, green, and orange, and then green and orange up here. I'm going to do white, blue, and red, so since it's already on the top. But I don't see it anywhere. If you don't see a piece anywhere, it's probably on the side over here. So I can just move this piece up, out of the way, move that same piece down. So you might actually end up with the case where you have opposite colors, but they're horizontal to each other. But if you have it horizontal, you'll have white sticking out. what you can do to fix this problem is that, like I said, you want to have, if you have 2 pairs done, do it over a solved side so nothing gets ruined. Because if I do it over here, I'd probably ruin this pair. So I want to do it over a solved pair. It's an easy fix, like I explained, so I can just move this piece down, move this piece over, and now back up. And now you have the other case from before. So now you want to put it over its centers, like I already explained. You don't have to do it over a solved side because you're about to solve it. Because if you just do it like that, you can ruin one of your pairs, even though it is not a hard fix. So now I can just move this piece up, over, down. And now I have 1 piece left. So now let's look at the last piece. I will do this one more time, like as like another review, like the final review. So let's look at this. So I have white, green, and orange as my last piece, and I have green and orange over here. I have opposite colors. I have the same case as last time, so I can just do it. So I can just do it over a side. Remember what I said. Look at the bottom and see which piece you're missing. So if you have it like on the front too, actually just do it anywhere. Just do it over a solved side. Your pairs will get ruined, but it's not a hard fix. So if I want to move this down, over, and then up, even though it did ruin one of our pairs. That's okay if that happens, but it is an easy fix, like I explained for the 40th time. So now you have that beginner's case, like before, we have opposite colors. So get it in between the centers. Since it's green, orange, and white, you want to put it in between the green and white, orange centers. And I can move this piece up, over, down. So now you want to see what you have left. You still might have 1 pair, but the case thing I was talking about is having 2 pieces of your white pieces like close, like 2 out of 3 making a bar. This might be hard to explain, but like an easy way to like fix, like avoid this problem is like to avoid getting pairs like up with you. Something you can do to avoid this is look at your white pieces and see what you can solve. Like see if you have like what bars you're missing. So you want to have the 2 white pieces close to your pair, like corner piece, like right here and here. That is close, but you don't want something like this where you have your missing corner piece here and your piece here, because one of your pairs can come up. So you want to have it like something like this where you have 2 pieces that are close to it, so it does not affect it. Like if I move it down, none of the pairs come up. So, like, but if you can't do this, that's okay. But just keep repeating what you've been doing with all the cases. So now, let's look at the case. We have that horizontal opposite colors case. So if you have that, move the white corner piece down, move this piece over, and then this back up. And now you have that vertical opposite colors case. And if you have that, just put it over the missing pair side, and now move this piece up, over, down. And now you've done it again. I'm going to do this one more time for you guys. So, and then, like I said, you can solve it with whatever method you like once you're done with F2L. Even beginner's method, which is something I do. So let's do this for the last time. So now, the final time we're going to go through this. So like you said, you want to complete your cross before and create matching pairs like this. If you have any other pieces, even if you have a matching corner, you will still fix that for your pairs. So let's look at a white corner piece on the yellow side. Like I said, if you do not have one, just bring one up. So now let's look at this piece. White, red, and green, and then a red and green edge pair. So if you have opposite colors that are next to each other, I can just bring this piece down, move this piece over, and now I can move it back up. And now you have the beginner's case. So put it over its 2 centers, and now move this piece up, over, down. And now I have that same case with this piece, where I have white, blue, red, and then blue, red right here. So I just do the same thing. I just move this piece down. But like I said, if you do, like I didn't say this before, but if you do it next to a completed pair, that will ruin it, but just move it away from it. And now try to do it so I can just move this piece down, over, up. And now I can just put it over its appropriate centers. And since they're opposite colors vertically, so I can just move this up, over, down. So now you have a case we haven't seen in a while. You might have a case where you have two opposite pieces, like white, orange, blue, that are the same color. But like I said, if you do it over one pairs left, do it over a solved piece so you don't ruin anything. And do that trick I was talking about. Having one of the white corner pieces close to you, that does not make a complete bar. So this is a complete bar having all three pieces together, and this is not since you only have two. So what you can do is just move this piece down, move this piece over to where it's next gonna go, and now you have the pair completed. So now you can just move it over like normal. And now, like you said, you might have your white pairs done, but you realize there is still one pair left. So if you do have a case like this where you have white on the bottom and the pairs up here, just move that white piece over, move it out of the way, and move it down. So now, let's look at our final case. We have that case from earlier, where you have the opposite colors. Opposite sides, but you have the same color. Like I said, something you can do to avoid this is move this piece down, over, up. And now you have your case done. And you can just slide it in. And then, like I said for the final time, like once you finish F2L, it does not matter what method you use. I use beginner's method, and then you are able to solve your cube. And you have just learned F2L. I find F2L is a cool method. Whenever I do it, I always I get rid of like 30 seconds off my time, around that. I would use 130 when around 132 minutes when I would do beginner's method. But now since I do this, I'm able to solve the cube in less than a minute sometimes. I think my PB is around 50 seconds. So now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial on F2L. If you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like down below and subscribe and leave a comment on some other tutorials you would like to see me do like this. And I will catch you guys soon. Bye!